Stephanie White makes the decision to alter the game, slow it down, and remove Caitlin in Indiana. Everything suddenly changed. Hurry and arc. I'm not pleased with this, and enough is enough. No matter what, we've had enough. She has no idea what she's doing. She isn't a trustworthy coach. Caitlin Clark is a small for the Indiana Fever, which she believes is a wise move. They haven't been in the best circumstances, and not in a positive way. The WNBA is already being rocked by Stephanie White's surprise and polarizing choice, Caitlin. Clark's ability to play off the ball will suffer if they continue to run the same nearly rapid hitters from the previous season. Caitlin Clark no longer has her function as a point guard, and Aari McDonald took her place. She desires to give Aari McDonald top priority. Suddenly, the league's star player, the one who, in her own offense, she transformed women's basketball, packed arenas, and set viewership records. There will be no change. The coaching method of Stephanie White is not for Clark. Caitlin. Let me reiterate, Stephanie White, as a coach, you are an absolute jerk. Trash. It never occurred to me that I would. Stating this, Stephanie White must be fired by the Indiana Fever. This isn't a plan, it's sabotage. While someone else is in charge, generational brilliance is being used as a ruse. He had screens on his team. Clearly, Caitlin Clark is the reason why so many people are watching the WNBA shice because of all these admirers' attention. Breaking collegiate scoring records and introducing women's basketball to a new audience. Caitlin Clark has enthralled the country. The fans are incensed. The group is in decline. Furthermore, Caitlin Clark is speaking up because what transpired was more than just a poor choice. It could be the largest error in the history of the Indiana Fever. Shooting off the dribble is superior to shooting off the catch. That seems to be my strongest suit. Therefore, we will continue to do a lot of it. They simply did. Caitlin Clark was just days ago the vitality of the Indiana offense. Everything moved because of the engine. She is a phenomenon. She's currently standing in the corner observing someone else deliver the ball up the floor. In a shocking and contentious change, Stephanie White gave Aari McDonald the point guard position after removing Clark from it. They have made a mistake, the Indiana Fever. Because when Caitlin Clark isn't playing, Indiana becomes even more dangerous. Caitlin Clark is not yours, a competent guard and strong defender. But nobody thinks he's a franchise cornerstone. Take a moment to process that. Shooting guard device. Caitlin Clark seems to be making a comeback tonight by playing her off the ball more with F. The Indiana Fever are giving a superstar a new look that goes beyond simple tactical adjustments. The steering was torn wheel from the single individual in charge of their national significance. Clark was unharmed. She wasn't performing poorly. She set the pace, created lead, and kept defenses in a frenzy. Everyone is aware of that during change. Everyone is aware that they gave up a bit too much in the previous game. I was a little more aggressive in the first game, but they still defended me the same manner. Well, I believe that we should do a better job of getting me whether someone is there or not. The ball is in transition. Playing me off the ball and getting the ball in my hands, in my opinion, require a delicate balance. I'm at my best during transitions at that point. Everyone is aware of that, and I'm pretty forthright about it. Yes, and she's currently drifting around the perimeter like a role player, confined to waiting for a few passes and setting screens. According to Stephanie White, the move was made to improve Clark's appearance off the ball. However, the facts provide a different picture. The offense is crumbling, Clark's flow is gone, her usage is dropping, and her anger is evident. Chance to practice and go through repetitions of how these angles appear. It's because she is an exceptionally skilled cutter and screener. I believe she missed a few of the opportunities we discussed there. Teens will look at us differently, so we have to expect it. How do we, They will receive open looks because they are excellent screeners. So go on. This goes beyond bad judgment. This choice has the potential to sabotage the whole season, because you lose more than just games when you turn your best player into background noise. You also lose the trust of your supporters, your locker room, and possibly even your road-coming issue. She doesn't think that basketball style will prevail, because she does not accept it. She does not permit Caitlin Clark to play through errors. Not only was Caitlin Clark transferred, but this upheaval is far more concerning. She was moved because of it. Clark wasn't benched by Stephanie White or Kat down on her playing time because she was not playing well. Actually, Clark was setting the pace, creating opportunities that no other player on the team could. And leading the team in assists, Kane Clark was holding the ball. She was acting hostilely. She was accelerating the pace. Or it appears that she simply won. Caitlin Clark is on the floor. Checks out. Caitlin was the Indiana Fever's mainstay because of her basketball acumen, vision, and ability to create shots. It's Caitlin Clark's tries at low shots. Caitlin Clark's low usage is the cause. Caitlin Clark's future with this Fever squad, she can't develop with the team if she is made to perform tasks she dislikes. In my opinion, however, since this was not a production-based choice, none of that appeared to matter. It was a philosophical decision. And the team is already being torn apart by that mindset. White has made it quite evident that Chef thinks we are superior than me. She wants basketball with sluggish shared usage. White will continue to bring everyone down to their level until she achieves her goal. It's basketball. Systems that disperse the ball evenly throughout the floor and neutralize stars are what she likes. In a balanced team with a lot of veterans, that might work, but it's a mess. When you have a generational talent like Clark on your hands, you don't just put the NBA's version of Steph Curry in a corner. The teams are using Steph Curry to protect the put an end to your three-point attempts. It's similar to saying Shaq. The Lakers are comparable. Imagine if the Lakers of 2000 actually said this: Shaq is a double-teamer. Shaq is going to have a difficult time. Therefore, we will no longer give Shaq the ball. Magic Johnson doesn't run off screens. Luka Doncic shouldn't be told to set picks and observe from the sidelines. But with Caitlin Clark, that's precisely what's taking place. She is being asked to perform an action that she has never performed before. Catch and shoot, set screens, play off the ball, and serve as a floor spacer. And the outcomes are harsh. Her shooting effectiveness is low. Her turnover rate has increased. Her utilization has drastically decreased. The Fever from Indiana, their circumstances haven't been ideal. Stephanie White makes the decision to slow down, make a change, and take Caitlin out the game. It's enough. We've had enough. She has no idea what she's doing. She is not a trustworthy coach. Making Caitlin Clark a small forward, in her opinion, is a wise move. And Arc. Even worse, rival teams are aware. Despite the fact that she is no longer initiating, they are assigning her backups to less capable defenders. She's not as dangerous as she used to be. She's being excluded from her own strategy because they simply put her on this team. She serves as a decoy and lacks even gravity. Seth looks at screens, off the ball. Something occurred. At the moment, Caitlin is a player. What impact did that have on the offense? It has fallen apart. The ball remains in place. The tempo has vanished. When Caitlin is blitzed, no one moves. The plays fall apart. There's no flow, no inventiveness, no fire. Of course, since Stephanie White plays basketball the old-fashioned way, it appeared as though they brought her in. When Clark had the ball last season, defenses changed, shooters were exposed, and transition buckets flooded in as everything fell apart. It's possible that she won't even touch the ball until 8 seconds remain on the shot clock. She was too preoccupied guarding Caitlin Clark to play a 5-point game against the Fever last year. We observed that this is not progress. This is expansion, sabotage. Veterans who thrive on slow, deliberate possessions, like as Natasha Howard and Kelsey Mitchell. may be favored by Stephanie White's strategy, but don't be fooled. Caitlin Clark is getting smaller because of this technique. Chen yesterday on Caitlin Clark. You left Caitlin Clark after they put Caitlin's Chen on her. She isn't receiving coaching on how to rule. They're keeping her in check. Furthermore, the harm will extend beyond the box score if this keeps up. It will be for the sake-off player who is expected to carry both the league and the team. The game has been altered by Clark. In college and the WNBA, she made a change. The nation is enamored with what Wayhave produced. And here's the grown-up girl next door, America Clark Caitlin. The country is enthralled with Caitlin Clark, shattering collegiate scoring records and expanding the audience for women's basketball. She is a phenomenon. Now that Caitlin Clark has been forced to leave her post, the Indiana Fever offensive has been turned over to Aari McDonald. It is referred to as a dual ball handler system by Stephanie White. The focal point will be Aari McDonald. Guard to remain. Don't get me wrong though, McDonald is in charge. She's raising the issue. The offense is being started by her. She's directing the plays. In a lot of the plays, Aari McDonald would raise it up and Caitlin Clark would then emerge from these subpar screens. They weren't even wise selections. The Indiana Fever attack then completely collapses. Or Caitlin Clark may not touch the ball until 9 seconds remain in the shot clock. Clark, on the other hand, is being reduced to a supporting role as she stands in the corner, runs through soft screens, and observes the offense without her. Her gaining the advantage, raising Theffler, making the mid-range jump shot with a stride back. It was clean. In this game, she missed a couple of her jump shots. However, Thai brought up this play because Caitlin Clark can accelerate the action. After grabbing a rebound, she has the ball in her hands and will get to work. She's going one-on-one. She plays that game. One-on-one is how Caitlin Clark plays. Let's be clear, Aari McDonald is an excellent product. She plays aggressive defense and is swift and tough. However, this isn't her squad. This is not her time, and letting her drive at the expense of the biggest player in the league. Not only is it dubious, but it's disastrous. To put it simply, Caitlin Urano, you are the mascot. Now, you are the mascot. Our loss is inevitable. We will play a dull game. Well, the ticket sales are the only thing that matters to us. We couldn't give a damn because the offense drastically slows down when McDonald is in charge. The defense is not alarmed. The spacing breaks out. Gravity is absent. She is not doubled by teams. They bide their time until she arrives. Defenders may also unwind because they aren't worried about Caitlin Clark causing havoc with the ball. Maximise Hef, commercial potential. Brought forth by Caitlin Clark joining the club and the ability to develop a larger, more devoted fan base for themselves without being focused on Caitlin. And the whole transgression becomes enforceable. It is comparable to witnessing a Ferrari accelerate to 20 miles per hour in a school zone. Someone has their foot on the brakes, even though it's capable of so much more. Even worse, defenses have already been developed. Top defenders are no longer assigned to Clark. Nalisa Smith was wandering about in this corner. It seems like Nalise was constantly getting in the middle of things. Round here, however, Caitlin and Leah were playing pick and roll. Caleb, get off it. If they didn't blitz, Leah would short roll to here, and Caitlin would hit her on that short roll. They're utilizing backups, CAITLYN. In a recent game. Clark was guarded by Caitlin Chen and hardly touched the ball. A month ago, that would have been unimaginable. Get over me, in particular. He noted that Tyrese Halliburton's early involvement of his teammates can teach Clark a valuable lesson. Now it's the norm. In the meantime, the offense is disintegrating. Only stuck possessions and lost possibilities are present, along with no creativity or movement. This isn't an experiment in chemistry. It's a model of mediocrity. Split their opinions about how the Indiana Fever should play and how they view the game, which is just visible. Basketball philosophy hasn't altered. Additionally, the Fever keep developing a system that marginalizes their top player. They're not on Lyd Imogen Clark. Their own future is being destroyed by fire. This goes beyond a simple coaching change. It's a risky, pivotal moment. We have the world's greatest playmaker. We have the world's best point guard. It's transgression that Caitlin Clark is running a dumpster juice business with Stephanie White. Caitlin Clark wasn't a decoy when she joined the WNBA. She took the lead in igniting masses and changing the course off basketball for women. We will never see the full potential of Caitlin Clark as long as Stephanie White is there. Nevertheless, she is being treated more like an accessory by the Indiana Fever than that she really is a cornerstone. Not only will they lose games if this keeps some, but they will also lose supporters, chemistry, and maybe even Clark herself, who has to establish more continuity on both sides of the ground. You've probably seen it in spells too. However, once more, we are reintegrating C and D. Caitlin doesn't have to fit in incorporated into a crime. Caitlin Clark's strengths were supposed to be the foundation of this. Greatness is not sacrificed for the sake of a system. The foundation of the system is brilliance. Away her potential will not be taken away by the other side, since we're going toto remove it. The Caitlin Clark effect is the term used to describe her influence and presence in women's basketball. The nation is enamored with what Wayhave produced. And here's the grown-up girl next door, America. Clark, Caitlin. Additionally, if the Fever perceives that they may be discarding their franchise's greatest achievement to date, what did Stephanie White do each time Indiana briefly looked promising with Caitlin Clark? She took a seat on the bench. Without Kayla Clark, the Fever is more serious regarding what Stephanie White Pasa Sesto discussed. The M just plays differently when you watch it. Without shifting on the ground, he is a man with a high consumption rate. The ball is in his palms when not on the ground. The ball is in motion, it's exploding. Several participants participating in action, with everyone taking the initiative. He uses it less frequently. Stephanie White now claims that the ball's SH if ting. It's exploding. It's entering take action. This is essentially who she is, verifying that she dislikes Caitlin Clark's approach to